Not only a game I enjoy playing, but an excuse to get together with friends and teammates at your local dive bar. I was quick to say I know how to play pool. If asked, jump up and start hitting the balls at full force. But after getting well affiliated with the game, playing with some excellent talent at the APA League, I saw 8 Ball for what it was, a game full of critical thinking, strategy, and a lot of competitive nature. This new love for a game I thought I knew how to play started at Pogo's Bar and Grill, located in Van Nuys, the city of San Fernando, a city of the San Fernando Valley. Although that wasn't my first time picking up a pool cue, it was where I polished up my game the most. Let me introduce you to the APA, the American Pool Players Association, and its league. A great way to take your pool playing skills to the next level, where competition varies from age, skill, and ethnicity. First, I'll introduce the popular league for pool players and its history of the sport. Second, we'll go over the pool stick, also referred to as a cue. Third, take a look at my involvement with the sport and its culture over time. American Pool Players Association, which started in 1981 by two professional pool players and billiard Hall of Famers, Terry Bell and Larry Hubert, made it possible for teams all around the nation to come together, compete, and enjoy the same passion for the game. An article written by APA states that these dreams were made possible by big sponsors like Amber Hesher Bush, who came along in 1979, a major break for them. In the beginning, it was hard to get the organization off to a profitable start. But with support like this behind them, APA hosted its first national championship in 1981 in St. Louis with a cash prize of $12,000. Although billiards is one of the oldest games to exist, it resembled and originated from a game played outdoors in the 15th century. It evolved from a long game similar to croquet played in Europe. This is why the felt, which is the cloth liner on the table, is green to simulate grass. Richard Logan wrote an article January 18th, 2023 on azbilliards.com where it was said that the development of the professional side of the sport was a long and arduous process. It began in the early 19th century. This is when the first pool table tops appeared and the game grew in popularity. The APA has also been recognized as one of the top small business and home based franchise opportunities in the world. In 2010, Forbes magazine that ranked the APA as the second top 20 franchises to start. Having such a popular worldwide association to participate in, the history and success of the business aspect is not hard to believe. In my experience playing in these leagues, they stay in business by charging to become a member of the association, having team dues on match nights for each player, and entry fees for tournaments. So, enough of the history lesson. Let's go to one of my prized possessions and the artifact I chose, my shooting pool cue. One of the most important tools used to get the win against your opponent. Once you get more serious with the game of pool, you learn the importance of having the decent equipment to execute your game plan better. I'll give you an example of the evolution of the pool cue, when the popularity and demand grew, also the introduction of the breaking cue, used in the match to keep from damaging your shooting cue. The pool cue is essential to the game. The modern stick used today is much different from back then. Maces were in their place. The mace has a lot of similarities to modern day pool sticks, except for one detail, the head. Unlike the straight head of a pool cue, the mace was much bigger and used in the 1600s. They found the stick had its area for improvement, especially true whenever the ball would be close to a rail and the head would keep players from making a decent shot. A quote taken from Paradon.co.uk explains how during the period of 1929-1930, there was a tremendous increase in demand for billiard cues brought by the opening of several thousand public billiard halls. I can already imagine the joy of purchasing a new cue back in those days. Walking in with a carrying case and a new pool stick Having your own gives you that full pool league experience. There are two different styles of pool cues. One is used for the first play of every match. This is to separate the stripes and solid balls using the breaking cue. Predator released the first break cue in 2001, equipped with balanced weight design and a tip furlue developed to transfer maximum energy. The information was taken from an article on predatorcues.com. Just with the history and longevity of this sport and the tight association, it's easy to want to pick up a cue and start playing. But let me first tell you about my personal connection with this amazing game. I began in the summer of 2002, city of Canoga Park, playing in my uncle's garage. No form of detailed instruction on how to play, I began hitting the balls. Soon, visits to my uncle's, which were intended to stay out the heat and getting intended for swimming and getting out the heat, began practice sessions. In no time, I began beating and competing and putting up a good fight against the competition in that garage. Little did I know, the skill would still need a lot of improvement to compete in the APA. In 2018, a local dive bar, Fogel's Bar and Grill, I was introduced to the National League. I joined a team named Taylor Made. This is where my game went to the next level, watching and learning from higher ranked players on my squad and the competition. My first season played with TaylorMade, spring of 2018. We won the Valley Wed Blue tournament, took first place, and the prize money to split among us. That season was full of style of play. That season was full of new style of play, strategy needed to get the win. Knowing how to strike the, knowing only how to strike my ball before it turned into learning how to play defense through ball placement, which also helped on offense. As you can see, playing for money and bragging rights for the night, APA can get very competitive. Just as I was taught new skills when playing billiards, first, we were able to learn interesting facts about the history of 8 ball pool and the APA League. Second, going over the pool cue. And lastly, personal connection to the game. Next time you walk into your local dive bar, take a glance over at the pool tables. It could be league night or an APA tournament being played. Take a final look at my prize cue. Hopefully, it will encourage you to go to your local billiard store and purchase one. You may be the next team competing for first place.